Hey Underdogs, welcome back to Underdogs Rise, the podcast where we rise together. There is a sentence worth sitting with today, and this is something that has come up repeatedly over the last couple of days with myself, and it's a real privilege sharing this with you, because this came from my mentor, and it's something that I want to acknowledge. No one has ever been offended by a statement that doesn't already apply to them. Not every comment wounds us, not every opinion touches our soul, not every criticism keeps us awake at night. But the ones that do, the ones that sting, the ones that make your chest tighten, your thoughts race, your emotions rise, those are the moments worth paying attention to. Because often offence is not born from lies. It's often born from recognition. From seeing a truth inside ourselves we have been trying not to look at. Maybe for days, maybe for weeks, or maybe even for decades. And that is difficult. Because self-awareness asks something of us. It asks us to be honest. It asks us to look inward instead of outward. And it asks us to stop blaming the mirror for what it reflects. And for many people, they would rather break the mirror than face themselves. But growth never lived in denial. Growth lives in truth. And truth is rarely comfortable. Think about the moments in your life when someone's words unsettled you. Maybe someone called you selfish. Maybe someone told you that you keep choosing people who cannot love you because deep down you don't fully love yourself. Maybe someone said you complain about your life, but protect the habits keeping you there. That one hurts. Because somewhere inside of you, you know there may be truth in it. And truth, when it arrives, when it first arrives, rarely feels like healing. It feels like pain, it feels like resistance, it feels like anger, but anger is often pain wearing armour. We live in a world where being offended has become a reflex. We define ourselves quickly, and we defend ourselves even quicker. We explain, we justify, we build stories around why we are right. But what if instead of reacting, we reflected? What if we asked, why did this bother me so much? What did it touch inside of me? What wound did it press against? What insecurity did it expose? What fear did it awaken? Because every strong reaction is a doorway. And behind that doorway is understanding. You see, life is always teaching. Always teaching. In discomfort, in heartbreak, in rejection. And yes, even in offence, there is teaching. The question is never, why would they say that? The better question is, why did that affect me? And that is where freedom begins. Imagine two people hearing the same statement. One says you care too much about what other people think. One person laughs and moves on. The other becomes defensive immediately. Why? because one knows it doesn't belong to them. The other recognises themselves in it. The statement found a home. And what lives in us reacts. That is why some words pass straight through us and others live rent-free in our minds for years, or even decades. They touch something unresolved, and unresolved pain always speaks louder. But here is the beautiful part. Being triggered is not failure, it's information, it is awareness. It is life pointing gently something needs to be healed. It may also reveal untapped ambition. It may reveal insecurity. It may reveal grief or anger. It may reveal disappointment you never processed. Or it may reveal truth waiting to be faced. And once truth is faced, healing can begin. Not before. Never before. You cannot heal what you keep on hiding. You can't grow where you keep pretending. You cannot become who you're meant to be while protecting the version of you that is comfortable. Comfort keeps you small, and truth stretches you. Many of us, including myself, learned to protect ourselves whilst we were young. To build walls, to avoid criticism, to reject anything that challenged our identity. Because challenge feels dangerous when your sense of self is fragile, but maturity changes that. Maturity says maybe there is something here for me to learn. Maturity says I don't need to react, I need to understand. I can choose to do that. Maturity says, if it applies, I can change. If it doesn't, I can let go. Real power isn't becoming untouchable. Real power is becoming deeply rooted, so rooted in who you are, that truth redefines you. And lies cannot define you. And here is something worth remembering, family. People who are secure do not spend their lives defending themselves. They spend their lives developing themselves quietly, consistently, honestly. They hear criticism and ask, is there wisdom here? If yes, they grow. If no, they release it. No resentment, no obsession, no carrying unnecessary weight. Because not everything deserves space in your spirit. But what keeps hurting you repeatedly, that deserves attention. That is your teacher. So the next time something offends you, pause. Not to suppress your feelings, not to shame yourself, but to listen. Ask yourself, what is this revealing to me? What truth am I resisting? What wound is asking to be healed? What version of me is being invited to grow? Because life does not expose your weaknesses to embarrass you. It reveals them so you can strengthen them. And sometimes that sentence that often offends you most becomes a lesson that frees you the most. And remember, family, if it doesn't belong to you, it will pass by you. But if it stays with you, There may be something there that is worth understanding. Not every sting is an attack. Sometimes it is an awakening. Keep doing the inner work. Keep choosing truth over comfort. Keep asking yourself better questions and keep becoming someone so honest with themselves that offences turn into wisdom and wisdom turns into peace. Underdogs rise, and we rise together.